Previously on the Jianchor project.
We've laid the foundation, and now we're putting brick by brick. We have each one of us, we're kind of building the house. I'm going to use that analogy, but brick by brick. And so we can't, it's like, so one brick is going to be our marketing. One brick is going to be the YouTube content. One brick is going to be the podcast. And it's all starting to come together. And then we can start looking at how we measure it. That's kind of how I'm seeing it, because sure, 85 subscribers is great. And when it's 850,000, it's going to be amazing. But I'll tell you, Mr. Jones will not be satisfied with 850,000. He'll be like, we need 1 million, right? And that's the beauty. And that's where
that's when I'll show them my tits.
That's when I'll show them, right? For 1 million subscribers, right? We'll all be doing it. But the fun part is, but that's the unique, and that's a big compliment for all 5 of us. We're all at different places. Jonesy's like the fire, right? I'm not satisfied. We need more. So when we get 100, that's going to be great, but we need 105, and where's 120? And then, but then it kind of just keeps waking it up. Not that anyone's not going, we're all doing what we can, but it's a great reminder. So it's a compliment to everyone, but and a little fun with Jonesy, because he's very succinct. It's like, what's going on?
Anything less than 10,000 is an embarrassment.
And now, episode 21 of the Jianchor project.
What's up, people? Hotep Jesus. We back. With another episode of the Jianchor project. I'm tired. I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes when I turn this thing on and I come on YouTube, it's just like sort of surreal, because it's like I'm fucking broadcasting and talking to people through this fucking device. And it's like, it's really odd sometimes to be talking to people and not knowing who's watching. Every once in a while I get weirded out by it. But we're back with another episode. We got Jonesy in the house, host, content extraordinaire, Wasted Talent podcast. Make sure y'all go subscribe to them. We got the young phenom. He pissed me off last week. And Bailey of financiallight.co. Make sure y'all go check him out. We got my favorite white man in the world, Chad Lemoyne of the Aquarian Anarchies. What is it?
Aquarian Anarchy, yeah.
Aquarian Anarchy. I always forget, is it Anarchy, Aquarian, or Aquarian?
Well, yeah,
Anarchy?
that's Marcus's fault, because he flipped him around on his Twitter and so here we are.
Is that why it gets? Okay, that makes sense. All right. Yeah. And then we got my love, Miss White Chocolate, Rita in the house from the Small Business Podcast. This is the Jianchor Project episode. Basically, what we do is we air our Monday meetings for your consumption and for your learning pleasure, your edutainment pleasure. What's up, team? How y'all feeling, man?
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday, our new night.
Yes. Oh, yeah. This is our new night. I had to move it because my chess coach invited me to train with him for his Grand Mastership. That's happening on Mondays. So the Jianchor Project will happen on Tuesdays. And actually, Coach wants me to stream. So I'll stream next Monday. I'll be streaming. So I guess I'll be streaming chess twice a week now. Yeah, so Tuesday nights, make sure y'all book it. What we got in the docket tonight, Miss Rita?
We've got our regular agenda. So we're going to go over last week's success and challenges, what we work on, KPI, going to talk about the blog, the latest things that are happening with it, questions, the usual.
The usual. All right, let's let me just start on my beef with Ant. Let's just get that out the way now. Ant, do you know why I was mad, yo? We can't hear you.
He's muted.
You're on mute.
Is it our website?
No. I couldn't say mad, just more like annoyed. When you hit me about the EPK.
Why?
You asked me, you was like, yo, how do I charge for this? And I told you cost of goods plus 30%. Then you
But the
came
way you
back.
were saying it was confusing me.
How was it confusing?
I really just didn't understand it.
Oh, all right. So,
That's why I was like, that's why when you put this emoji, I was like, all right, it's a wrap.
oh,
I
you
got it.
you didn't understand it at all.
I did, but I knew if I asked you a question, you were gonna get pissed off. So that's why I was like, but I asked it anyway, and then I just felt the energy. So I'm like, all right, it's.
Oh shit!
That's why I called you initially.
Did I pick up?
Yeah, we had a whole conversation.
Okay, I thought so. So yeah, so like when you hit me again, I was like, why is he asking you asked the same question twice? I was like, it's basically cost of services plus 30%, right? So if it was artwork and bio, right? Then it's whatever that those services cost plus 30%, right? For the fee, 15%, 20%, 50%, whatever the fee is that we decide to choose. It's really arbitrary, right? Then you came back and you asked me, what if, without the bio? And it was like, I'm just going to say the same thing again. The cost of the design plus 30%. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the cost of design is going to be, right? We got to figure it out.
The reason I was confused was because the initial package that we're still going to implement in the future, but the initial package that we talked about was like completely different than this.
Right.
So that's why I was like, all right, this is kind of different. And then he needed like a quick answer. So I was just trying to, do like,
he was looking for a quote right away.
Yeah, he wanted it by that evening.
Oh.
But I wasn't able to get to that part because the vibe just went south.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that would be. It depends
on.
But
that's right. I was just confused initially because I'm like, all right, are we gonna do all this stuff? And then once you told me to hit him with that question, and I hit him with it, and he kind of like, it wasn't like a vague answer. Like he gave me the answer, but I'm like, all right, but do we still go with the package that we want to implement?
Oh yeah,
because we don't have anything set in stone. So I don't want to give him an answer, and then it wasn't cool to everybody. So I was like, all right, let me just hit you real quick and see what you have to say.
Yeah.
And then once it was kind of scrambled, I'm like, all right, let me hit everybody else.
Yeah.
And then it was still scrambled. So then I was just like, he needed a quick turnaround. So I just told him, I was like, yo, I appreciate you reaching out to me. Like, obviously I want to work with you in the future. Like I can't give you the turnaround right now because I can't give you an accurate price because we don't, it wasn't set in stone. We were working on other things. Like we're going to get back to that eventually, but it would kind of be a headache. So
yeah, no, that was a good response. You handled that right. Yeah. Cause we're not prepared to give, and I don't want to throw out a number and it be too low. Right. And then we end up taking a hit on the fee and I don't want to give a price and it's too high. And he says no. Right. So, we just got to figure out who our designer is going to be and work it from there.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to ask you guys.
But I mean, the
scolded for it.
I was just like wondering, like, I was taken off guard because I didn't understand the situation. It's like you didn't understand where I was coming from, right? So I guess it was just a miscommunication. But I was just confused as to like how you didn't get what I was saying. But now I get it. He wanted the price quote right away. Instead of sending me screenshots, like I always say in business, like over communicate, right? So just say, yo, he wants a quote by tonight. And then I would have been like, oh, all right, let me make some phone calls. I didn't look at it as if it was urgent.
See, but I didn't know that until like an hour after I texted you. He was like, yeah, I'm looking for a quote tonight.
Oh,
and by that time it was like, yeah, like you said, I already annoyed you, so I'm just like, I'm not even gonna hit him again. Like I've been through this before. I'm not doing this. So that's why I hit these guys, and I'm like, and I was asking him. I was really trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I didn't know what you was where you trying to go with it. That's why I work a lot better over the phone. So when we spoke, I thought, we were clear, cost of goods, whatever that was, but he wanted to quote that night, and that's why I just didn't get. But yeah, whatever, it's water under the bridge. Learn a lesson for both of us. We just gotta find a designer. We need a good one too.
That's the reason why, like when Ant called me, I didn't really know what to say because we don't have the designer on the team yet.
Yeah.
And it's like now we got to scramble to try to find a designer, and then we don't know what their price is, and we're kind of like being a middleman at that point, And I really didn't want to do that. I feel like that's really unprofessional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's why like you were saying with I didn't want to undershoot and I didn't want to overshoot.
Yeah.
Because like we don't even have any type of example or any type of price.
I'd rather you overshoot and dudes say yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. But I'm like, if it was just some random, like if somebody I have a relationship with, so I didn't want to do bad by him.
Yeah, okay.
Especially because he's reaching out to me.
Yeah.
Trying to do business.
Yeah.
You hang him up and he doesn't get somebody else to do it, and then it's like, bro, you made it take 3 weeks and I needed it like, quicker than that. Yeah.
True. You don't want to be Dr. Evil and be like $1 million. You don't want to do that.
We're just not prepared for that at this point, but we can get prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool, what I told him. I was like, we had a hiccup in that direction we were going, and we had some other back end stuff that wasn't even put together yet. So I'm like, we had to do all that back end stuff and tie some loose ends there.
Yeah.
Once we're fully prepared for this and we want to go in this direction, like I'm going to hit you back up and then we can do business from there.
While I got you here, I figured something out, So the podcast section looks tight on the website. So, on the front page where it says sign up, I'm thinking about just turning that sign up instead of going to this register page, sending it to a landing page which has the form for the convert kit on there. And let them sign up directly to the list.
That's not what it does right now?
No, it sends me to the default
WordPress
login, sign up. On the homepage, it sends us to Jianchor.com/register registration page, as if you were to like sign up for an account with the website.
Oh wow, I must have not saved that because I changed that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, maybe you didn't publish the changes or something. But was that what you was thinking to do?
Yeah, because we discussed that briefly, and just like that was the better route to go.
Okay.
You know what I did? Maybe I didn't change the hyperlink in the sign up button. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it is. So you just created a landing page, but you just need to redirect it. All right, that's cool. All right, what's next up, Rita?
So we worked on a bunch of stuff. You guys worked on some stuff. Maybe Chad and Ant can go over, and Jonesy can talk about what they worked on this week.
Yeah, let's do that.
Who wants to go first?
Chad, it's all on you, brother. Come on.
Why does it always have to be me?
Let's go, Chad.
Okay, so today did I reach out today? I don't know. At some point I reached out to like our whole team of writers, and I began I got 2 phone calls knocked out today. What I want to do is I just wanted to touch base with everybody and kind of assess where they are, make sure that they are, in good shape, and are understanding what the formatting and everything that we're trying to do is, and getting that stuff kind of streamlined to where everything comes in a similar format and everything. And a lot of it already is, but there's still like a few little things like, some of the things with the featured images or with, subheadings and things like that. And some of the SEO type stuff that we want to streamline, but also is just like a check-in on, how they're doing and, how they're feeling the experience. And one of the things that was really cool, this evening, spoke to Kamar, and he was telling me, he said, you never know really like how this is impacting people and how what we're asking them to do for this project. We want to make it something that is very interactive and engaging, and where everybody's getting something out of it and putting into it, to where we're collaborating together. But one of the things that was really, I don't know, I guess inspiring for him is he was telling me, he's like, look, I've written stuff before, but I've never written this consistently, where because it's a lot of times he's doing research on his own for like how he's doing stuff with his job and with his side business and those types of things, and he's written stuff around that, but it hasn't been on this sort of like weekly schedule. And he said it's making him a better writer, and it's actually getting him more organized in his thoughts towards how he approaches those situations at work and with clients and things like that. And so that was just really cool. And so and also he said he got a lot out of the classes that we've had, the Zoom classes. And so anyway, it's just that sort of stuff is really cool. And I've also seen, even though I haven't spoken to everyone yet, I've seen some of the changes in how stylistically the content is coming in now. And it's so much more optimized for SEO and for like having that punch and having and like really gripping the audience. And anyway, so that's one of the main things that I was working on. Yeah, go ahead.
You remind me of one of my famous quotes. One of my most favorite quotes by Sir Francis Bacon. He's actually a mystic, but he said, reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. And he's really ahead of his time with that, man. That's what Kamar's
last name makes me a hungry man.
Yeah, he said it's made it to where he feels like he's getting better at how he can teach and explain this stuff, because it's taking him through the steps of in detail. And if you read his stuff is really good. And so one of the other things that we wanted to do was, you had asked me about this a while back, and just never really got around to it, because it's always like the content was coming in and I'm trying to edit and proofread and manage the stuff and manage when it's going out. And so we are starting to build a schedule. And so the first two people who I've kind of assigned a day is Alchemy, who it's going to be either every week or every other week, but her stuff's going to be Friday, because I think her stuff is really good for like kind of recalibrating and resetting yourself and taking care of yourself. And the weekend is a great time to kind of refresh yourself that way.
Day is Friday, or her submission day?
Her submission day is Thursday afternoon. Published day is Friday morning.
Okay.
And then Kamara is going to be submission Sunday evening, published Monday morning. And so I've got calls scheduled with, I have one scheduled with Adam, and I'm working on one with DT Dakota. And then the only one I don't have yet of the people who are giving us content weekly is Andy. And then I've got to touch base again with a couple of the other writers who have, and then Jenny, I can't remember what day. Anyway, I have to look at it on my phone. But anyway, getting with all of them to kind of get the schedule kind of laid out. And then I've got some stuff that I've been writing. I have two that are ready to go. Almost ready to go. So one of them is going to come out on Friday, and the other one, I don't know when I'm going to submit it. But anyway, that's me.
When once I get this book done, I'm gonna start hitting it hard.
Okay.
I might fuck around and give y'all one a day.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I need this shit to turn the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
I just was saying that today, man. like on the real, I've been pushing so fucking hard, bro. And I feel like where I come into play is bringing some relevant content, like at the moment content to the blog, because we're looking for young people too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want this to be like the boomer fucking blog. You know what I mean? and like on the real, there's a lot of things that we got coming out soon, and a lot of people that we're gonna feature that are gonna be a lot younger, a lot hipper, a lot more, you know, and I'm an old motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But cool travels. I'll be a fly motherfucker when I'm 70 years old. It don't matter, you know what I mean? So it's like I have to make sure that that's the shit that we're bringing to the table all the time. You
well,
know?
that's definitely inside our demographic of, you know, white male 25 to 45.
And we've been like bumping heads about like how fucking forceful we all are with this shit. You know what I mean? And it's good. It's a good energy that we have now. You know what I mean? Because yo, I'm telling you, if we want to be successful, man, the key to success is like not trying to please everybody. We're beyond pleasantries at this point. Like we gotta piss each other off to make this shit work. And another thing, real quick, guys, I don't want to go off and hijack this shit, but somebody in a fucking chat last week, the last show we had said, "Why should I be watching you guys? Who are you guys?"
Oh yeah.
And you know what?
My ass.
You know why you should be watching us? Fuck you. That's why you should be watching us. That's why. You should be watching us because we said so, you motherfucker. I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest. I have nothing else to say.
You know what? First of all, thank you. Because, you know, that's the energy I love. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny because they are watching us. That's why he made the comment. Like, people tell on themselves when they do shit like that. Why should I be watching y'all? Right. My question is, why are you watching us?
Right. That's what I was thinking. It's like,
you took time to type that shit out
in the chat, motherfucker. So I would figure that you're watching us.
No, seriously, I have never once been watching something that I'm like, fuck this. I just hit the X button.
Yeah,
I don't sit there and type a chat like, why should I be watching this? Like, just don't fucking watch. Turn it off. God damn, man.
That you got to understand, people like that are very unhappy with themselves. Mm-hmm. They feel very inadequate, unfulfilled with whatever it is that's going on in their lives, and that's how they express it. They try to, you know, what's it called?
Jealousy or something. And
hurt people. Try to hurt people.
Oh,
That type of thing.
Hurt people.
Yeah. So, you know, that's what he was attempting to do. But he's really telling on himself. You know me, when I think about marketing and people check out content, I always want to know, why are you checking out the content? I don't know why you're watching. Why don't you tell me? Mm-hmm. So when people say, why should I be watching you? I'm not here to sell myself. You are watching me. So you tell me, since you're here right now, why are you watching us? You know, that's a good question. I'd love to know. And then next time somebody asks, I'll tell them such and such said they're watching us because of whatever it is you said that you're watching is the reason you're watching us, right?
He's trying to start a blog to hate on people. That's what she straight hate on everybody.
We should tell sign up for the blog and we'll write about you.
I'll do a promo piece. If he'd rather listen, he can type in Jianchor into the Apple podcast and he'll see, can you see it? Our Jianchor comes up in Apple Podcast right next to Wasted Talent when you type it in.
That's right.
Really?
That's right.
Yep.
That's
so
right,
you type in, you do a search under Apple Podcast Jianchor, and it'll come up podcast, and then Jonesy's and ours came one right next to each other. Isn't that cool?
This is amazing.
And I think, and then because I did it on Apple because I've been waiting for it to come up. Did you find yours on Google? We were found on Google today. Is that what you sent this morning, Chad?
No, that was my my dashboard. Like whenever I do a screenshot or whatever, it takes like a picture of the dashboard display too. So I was listening to a podcast and so it had the Jianchor and Wasted Talent, and then my whole library of the things that I'm subscribed to was showing up. And so when I saw that, I was like, wow, look at that! It's Jianchor and Wasted Talent right next to each other on my thing. But that wasn't a search. That was just me, what I was listening to.
So basically, what y'all saying is Wasted Talent over here grifting.
Yeah, if he put Jianchor in his description or some shit, so he would show up in the search.
Right. Well,
SEO master over there.
Yeah, 80% of the Jianchor videos are Wasted Talent. So
Jesus Christ, what am I grifting off myself now?
That's right.
Yes, it's fucking bullshit, man. You can't do that.
But promo
that part of you is ours.
Yeah, but you may not want to see You may not want to see the weekly meetings, but see what we do. So listen, you can podcast us on Apple, Google, Anchor, We have 10 different places you can find us in Wasted Talent Podcast. Or check out our blog, Jianchor.blog.
I'm gonna tell you what the real grift would be, as seen in the chat on Hotep.
Right, that's right. Oh yeah, we don't say that enough. Right?
That's actually
grift,
bro. We could do like a like when they had that James Earl Jones and that other guy, they were reading like these girls' tweets or something like that, and they're like, "OMG, he's totes hot, totes my goats," and all this kind. We could read the chats like that, like in this Masterpiece Theater voice or something.
Yeah, I know.
The super chats.
No, so I did find, so my Zoom calendar I have a meeting with Jenny tomorrow and then Adam on Thursday.
So you're doing individual meetings with everybody? Yeah,
just kind of, just like a little 10-minute phone call, just checking in on them and kind of touching base and
yeah, that's good.
Asking if they need anything from us, and then just kind of going through, like, if there's some stuff that I've seen in their content that I'm like, hey, look, if you could do this, that would really help me out, that sort of stuff, so that we're both kind of helping each other.
Shout out to Natasha Kayleen, $5 super chat.
$5 holla.
Appreciate you. Everybody that's watching right now, be like Natasha Kayleen. Stop grifting, and at the very least, hit the like button. Likes are free. Rita, what's up next?
Well, Ant, what have you been up to, Ant?
So I actually updated the Airtable and completed my tasks.
Hey.
So my responsibilities were to create the page where we have all the podcasts. So I did that. Update the front page as well. Then I had to basically take all the bios from YouTube videos from the podcast and put it, under for like the meta description. That way people could read briefly what the podcast is going to be about, obviously. So this week I plan on doing a little bit more of the SEO work, because right now it's like, I think we have 15 different clips up there, 15 different interviews. Mm-hmm. So, and SEO, it's not like a thing where you could kind of do it within like a minute or so. You kind of have to put a little bit more time into it. So it's going to be a little bit time consuming on that part to go through all 15. So that's my responsibility for this week. So more just like the back end stuff, and just making sure that when people search, they could find us. Because
no, we're gonna get that face out there, brother. You remember we had a conversation about it's not just back end. This week, I have challenged the whole team to every day cut a video about their particular brand. Like if Chad is mental health, one of the days on our Twitter feed, I want some kind of a video talking about mental health. Rita with business, one of the days, and Ant needs to get out there. We need to get that $1 million face out there, Anthony. We need some beefcake on our site, man. You've been playing ball, you're in shape now, you got the COVID-15 off. Let's go. Gotta have it.
I was thinking about SEO just now, and at the bottom in the footer, we can do a blog roll. We can put a blog roll in the footer. I was talking about blog rolls before, where you link to friends and family.
Oh yeah, okay.
So in the blog roll in the footer, we can add links to everybody's website here. So Financial Light CEO, Wasted Talent, Bearing Anarchy, Small Biz Podcast, and then also to whatever sites our contributors have. And then we can start creating some of those backlinks. And then if anybody would like to link back to us, they can do that on their website so that the relationship is reciprocated.
Yeah, that's Chad found a plugin as well. I got to dive into a little bit more, but basically it allows each one of our contributors to have a legit bio so people can find out about who they are.
Yeah, the bio will show up at the bottom of their articles. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. That's dope. Is that is set up yet or not yet?
No. I got to do that.
Okay, that's dope.
You just swung it my way yesterday.
How's the Twitter thing going? The Twitter plugin. The
working
new one's
like
working? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So
I will say this: I had an issue this morning. I scheduled 3 posts, and the one that came out this morning, I had scheduled it for 10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern, and it hit at like 7 a.m. Eastern. I don't know. So I got to go and look and see if it's some weird ass time zone or some shit that, I finally got the scheduling thing to work, and I thought I had gotten it to work correctly. Let me look at this one that from DT that's going out tomorrow morning. See what it what it says. Yeah, it's very weird because I checked it like 3 times.
The other ones are firing on time.
The one from Adam yesterday fired at the right time, but the one from Kamar this morning did not. It was 4 hours early, which, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's like, I want it to hit. I want it to hit when there's more eyes available to it, you know?
Right.
So this says 10 a.m. Let me look at what, if it has a time zone. Oh, that's the problem. It's UTC +0. Why the, anyway. All right. I'll fix it. God damn. That's so stupid. Why would you have, it's not linked to anything. It's just like, anyway. All right. I'll get it. I'll fix it.
If you need help with time zones, you can just call me, Chad.
Was it a time zone?
That's right. What's that? It was time. It was a time zone. It was so like I think Eastern is like UTC +4 or -4. Fuck, I don't remember. Anyway, I'll figure it out and get it done right.
I figured it was that.
Does it not let you? It doesn't even let you change that. You have to just guess what it's supposed to be. All right, I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know what UTC +0, what time zone that is, and where I'm supposed to be.
You gotta throw that in the search engine.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I did want to say this before we move on, while we're talking about like where we are with the site up to this point.
Yeah,
we hit our 50th post, including the YouTube stuff, but our 50th post yesterday morning. We're at 51 now.
Oh shit!
And we're when these next couple publish, we will have 40 just unique blog posts that are not any of the like, and then 14 additional YouTube shows. So like that was pretty cool to see. I was pretty stoked when I saw that number 50 come up. So
we're
shout out to everybody
we're on our
who's
5th
contributed
week.
to that.
So that's 10 a week.
10 a week. Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
pretty badass actually.
It's dope.
Yeah, we got some more coming too, man. We got some good interviews coming up pretty soon. I'm scheduling some stuff out for this weekend that's gonna go right on up. Chad and I actually, and I wanted to chat to chime in on this. What do you guys think about a live show Monday night, very quickly, Tuesday night,
before
very quickly about sports? Me and Chadillac. Anthony coming in, you know what I mean? We got different people. We got Adam. We got a whole bunch of people that want to do a sports show. People have been asking for it, you know?
We would invite Rita, but she's going to talk about the Raiders, and I don't want to hear that shit.
Whoa, easy. I'm going to be doing enough Raider talk for all of us. Don't worry about it. Only if we're good this year, though, because I'm not going to be, but whatever. Go ahead.
Can I rescind my my acquiescence to this idea?
Listen, as long as I don't talk about the Cubs and LSU all the fucking time, we're good.
Hey, shout out to Kim Mulkey. That was pretty dope today. Yeah, I saw Hotep Jesus retweeted that.
What?
When Kim Mulkey walked up to the podium and took her mask off. She's the new LSU women's basketball coach that you
is that who that was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was fire. Shout out to her.
Take his damn mask off.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that Louisiana lifted their mandate today, too. Not that it mattered to me.
She's the girls' basketball coach?
She's the new, she was at Baylor, and she left Baylor to go to LSU.
Gangsta.
Oh, wow. And she's a good coach, too. Because
she's a monster. Yeah.
Yeah, she had Brittany Griner all those years and stuff. Yeah.
Is she?
Brittany Griner's that chick in the WNBA that kind of like mad tall, that dunk all the time and shit.
Yeah, the man girl.
So that's the live show on Tuesday night, sports show. Is that before or after this show?
Before.
I don't know.
Hold on. Gotta let Jonesy catch his breath for a minute here.
Oh my God.
Did she have the operation done and like had her stuff removed and all of that?
Hey boy, I was trying not to. You just went right there, yo.
I was gonna say you could have talked about all kind of other accomplishments that Kim Mulkey had at Baylor without bringing up Brittany Griner, and then it wouldn't have gone there.
My fault, man.
That's all I know about Brittany Griner. All I know is she chopped her shit off.
It was like Stockton and Malone, y'all. I was coming down, Carl Malone was in the wing.
And I'm over here, Jeff Hornacek. I'm just like,
oh my God.
My bad, Rita. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I don't know. We recover from that. But so Tuesday nights before the blog show, sports live
on Jianchor.
That's the point.
On the Jianchor podcast channel.
My only concern with that is sports isn't a topic where you can kind of keep it within a time limit. You know what I'm saying? It tends to get pretty intense. And
you know what? It could be like Batman. Find out next month on the next Jianchor sports show. Something like that. And then we just go right into Hotep. You know, I think we can do it. We can do something.
What's short? What do you consider short?
45 to 30 minutes.
30 minutes to an hour, maybe.
30 minutes is short. 30 minutes is
hella short. Yeah, I think it is.
It is. But it's good though, right? Like if you can do it in 30 minutes.
If we keep it on one subject, you know, like we don't need to touch like 4 different topics. Just like whatever the thing is, like, you know, the Mayweather, whatever his nuts is, Jake Paul fight or whatever. We just want to talk about that. We can talk about that for 30 minutes and be done.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Don't do it on the Jianchor page. Create like Jianchor Sports.
A
separate
new channel?
a separate YouTube, yeah.
Well, I think the whole purpose of it, you think you worried about that? I thought the whole purpose of it was to bring traffic to the channel.
Oh, I'm just afraid it'll fall into a situation where you're targeting different demographics, and your channel doesn't
Males
grow
25
as
to
fast.
45.
I mean, it is. It is. That's true. I guess you're right.
Yeah, we trying to do whatever we can, man. Pretty soon it's gonna be Jianchor Strip Hour. It's gonna be something. We got this bitch doing something strange for a piece of change. We gotta make this shit grow. Like, come here, babies.
I guess it could work. Yeah, try it out. Let's see what happens.
Rita, you want to write this ship real quick?
Which part? The show us your tits part?
So much for that. You were our only hope.
Well,
You went there.
well, I think though, yes, when we're struggling for ways to attract subscribers, we always go to the boobs because that's a safe bet. But that's not our brand yet. We're not that desperate yet. But I think that stop it, Chad. Stop chatting while I'm talking in the chat because I can see it.
I just didn't want to say that out loud. That's all.
But I think the idea was it started, well, because Jonesy's the motivator behind getting more traffic onto the page. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the testing out a live shot just to get some traction to get him back. Because it isn't part of the 4 pillars of Jianchor, but it's definitely can attract guys and gals who love talking about sports.
See, I disagree because what's more culturally relevant than sports in America?
Halima brought up my concern. She said, would it be the same audience looking to listen to sports versus looking for business or music artist interviews?
I feel like whoever wants to be entertained, I mean, it might not be. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know, with us having this platform and us having all these 4 different pillars, And when we talk about culture, and this is just for culture, when you talk about culture, culture is a wide ranging net of things. And I would say in American pop culture, sports is probably damn near the biggest. I mean, what has the highest ratings? The Super Bowl, right? And right after that, it's always a sporting event. So I think that is right on brand with us. We just have to do it in a way where it's unique, and we got to do it in a way where it's engaging and where we bring in more people. Because I'm cool with having 10,000 subscribers that like the sports and having 10,000 subscribers that like the mental health and all of that, and we just grow like that. You know what I mean? Because it's too many of us for us to kind of like pigeonhole ourselves into one little brand. That's just what I think. I don't know anything about growing a YouTube channel, but I feel like since there's so many different personalities involved with this, we have to kind of highlight that.
Us in doing our research, we looked at really the audience across YouTube, and that's where, like with alchemy, looking at spirituality and horoscopes, talking, doing a series on that. Talking to Jenny about food, because you can pull up the top 20 things people are looking for on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Food, spirituality, comedy, sports, they're all in that top group, where channels have hundreds of thousands, up to million subscribers. So that was kind of the impetus for working with Jenny to do a little food series in these little half-hour, 45-minute vignettes, and adding it to the page. So, we could talk about her business. She has a business. I'm going to be interviewing her this week about her business, but just different things to attract, to, kind of as a funnel, to have a subject as a funnel to bring them to kind of the whole lifestyle of Jianchor.
The funny thing is, it's really interesting. I'm going based upon the data. And so I'll go based upon average session duration, right?
Okay.
First, and then I'll show you another metric that I looked at, because I just pulled this one next. Well, I just pulled this one up. So average session duration, obviously we're not working with large numbers here, but still. Food and dining, number 1. Number 2, shoppers and luxury shoppers. 3, travel. 4, banking and finance. 5, beauty and wellness. 6, travel. 7, lifestyle, hobbies, business professionals. And number 8 was sports. Number 9, vehicle, transportation. And number 10, home and garden. Now that's going based upon average session duration on the site. If we go based upon pure users, it goes media, entertainment, music lovers, number 1. Sports and fitness, number 2. And then media and entertainment, 3. News, politics, 4. And then sports and fitness / health and fitness buffs, 29. I think that if we do this, right, and I want to just take a vote on this idea, I think that, and obviously I'm a yay, right? I'm in favor of this. I think that if we do it, we have to figure out how to do it, kind of like how you said before, Jonesy, bringing that different type of take to sports, right? Where it's breaking down some of the cultural impacts on life and just figure out how we're going to spin it back around to a productive conversation, so it's not just about who scored the most touchdowns.
It'd be like, hey, LeBron, have you read more than one page this week? No, I'm kidding.
That'd be perfect. That would be absolutely fucking perfect. All right, so all in favor of Jianchor Sports Live, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Yay! Here we go.
I was about to say, like, this man has Hotep's Been Told You, this show, his uncomfortable conversations, and chess all on his channel.
And that's exactly why I don't think y'all should follow my lead, because my channel grows stupid slow.
and the Wendy O. I forgot about the Wendy O.
And the Wendy O shit. And my shit grows stupid slow, right? That's why I'm like, I don't know if y'all want to go down that route, which is why I'm saying if y'all do this sports thing, just make sure you veer it back to like what your affinity says here. It says health and fitness buffs.
Yeah.
Sports and fitness, right? So figure out how you can bring it back to health and fitness. and news and lifestyle, right?
I mean, we could probably tie in sports to each one of our topics as well.
Right. Like, for example, old boy, another cat just decided to take his salary in Bitcoin. That's a good way to tie in.
Russell Okung?
No,
or
not
somebody
him.
else. Somebody else
another
different.
Cat.
Okay. I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
another cat didn't. Was he in Louisiana?
Yeah, was the blonde kid from Tigers, I think? No.
I don't know what he looks like. I just saw somebody make the announcement. So yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. If you can just tie two of those subjects together, like if it's sports and fitness, sports and finance, sports and culture.
Well, that was like the article that was written for us. Yeah, exactly, about the All-Star game. Like it's sports, but we talk about the economic impact.
Yeah.
Like the NCAA tournament, how there were no fans this year, and how the billions of dollars weren't made.
Right.
How NCAA athletes should be paid, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not just like you said, like, oh, he did 3 home runs tonight. That was great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. I like it. Let's do it. Let's run it. Let's run it.
Was it Joe Burrow, Rita?
No, who's the kid who didn't win the championship last year? He was
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just took a deal all in Bitcoin.
Oh,
Sunshine.
wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, give him a #1 pick, Sunshine.
Yes.
That's Sunshine. Ronnie
Sean Culkin, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
He did it too.
Chiefs tight end Sean Culkin to convert entire NFL salary into Bitcoin.
He better do something because he ain't gonna play what Travis Kelce did.
He signed a deal with a cryptocurrency app, gets bonus paid in crypto. That's what that Clemson kid did.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Well, I know that Russell Okung turned his $6.5 million because it was a $13 million contract that he took $6.5 million of it in Bitcoin, and that was when Bitcoin was at like 28. So he doubled that part of his salary.
Yeah,
that would be, but that's another good subject for Jianchor to have, and maybe Ant can do that. Is to break down Bitcoin. Have somebody on an interview about Bitcoin.
Because it takes too long. They'll be like, Bitcoin.
Coinbits. Yeah. Well, hey, there we go.
Coinbits. That'd be good. Be like, this is brought to you by Coinbits.
Right.
Bitcoin's mad boring.
But well, it may be
Bitcoin
boring,
is mad boring to talk about.
It's mad boring, yo.
Unless you're like got your third eye open and you just talk about the future and you're a maniac. Like you got to have the conversation with the right people. If you just talk to a regular person, they're like, oh, "What is this stuff?" It's like, no.
I'm just talking about the basic understanding. Right? Could you understand it? Right? Could you explain it to a 10-year-old?
Yeah, I've explained it to my kids. Yeah.
Right? Can you explain it to?
I know what you're saying, Rita.
But it's still
like
boring as shit.
It's like a boring topic. It's just
the only cool thing about Bitcoin is the future of Bitcoin and how you're going to have people walking around with cybernetic arms that take Bitcoin. Right now, I've just made it cool. And hookers, you fucking pay your hookers in Bitcoin. Like, there's like no other way but to, try and fast forward life to make Bitcoin some sort of interesting.
If you're just talking about, how it's mined and the logistics, it's like you go to sleep.
Yeah, I think the story really is that now you're seeing big banks advertise. It's getting into our, into the big bank sphere. And so I think that the story is that we'll explain it because 6 months ago, everyone was poo-pooing it, saying it was, funny money. And now we've got, practically the Federal Reserve investing in it. So there's something there.
Whoa.
Am I not allowed to say that?
We don't say those words on this channel.
No.
Okay. So anyway, so I just thought that's so for regular, I'm saying for regular normal people who are hesitant to invest, but they probably should now, who go, I don't know, instead of just throwing money out, it may be boring, but there's a level of confusion and risk. I think the question is risk, but if it's not interesting, it's uninteresting. So
okay. What's next? We got 12 minutes left.
Questions.
I've got 2 questions for tonight.
Marvelous.
Okay, first question. When starting out, managing social media, creating content, and promoting seems overwhelming for one person. That doesn't read right. So when starting out, managing social media, creating content, and promoting seems overwhelming for one person. How can it be simplified? So someone starting out.
Hire. You got two options: hire somebody or do less.
Okay.
You know, some people, what they do is they try to hit every single social media network. Don't pick one and be great at it.
Pick one and be great at it when starting out. So pick one. Okay. And the second one, I think it's from last week.
Get a copy of Dominate Twitter by yours truly and focus on Twitter. I think Twitter's the best place to be. Unless you got Yiddies. If you got Yiddies, probably stick to Instagram.
I was just thinking about that though. Yeah, true. Yo, if you got yams or yiddies, you need to be on the gram, greased up.
Yeah, you need to be on the gram. Somebody was talking about this before, but a lot of those OnlyFans chicks don't even translate well over into YouTube. They all try to create YouTube channels and nobody subscribes because it's like you have no personality, you're boring. Like I'll just catch your little reels on Instagram. You know, I really don't want to sit here and listen to 12 minutes of you talk about things I don't care about.
I need a pedicure, and I'm gonna put mustard on myself later. It's like the fuck out of here.
Josie knows so much about these channels.
Talking about. Listen. That's just the way I see it. I don't know anything. There's nothing I can actually tangibly reach out and touch. I'm just saying, in my mind, that's what happens.
Really, y'all be putting mustard on your face?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh God!
All right, what's the next question?
So no, it's actually stop it. It was a repeat from last week. But since we're talking, Jonesy and I got in a fight this week. It's laughing.
What? Y'all got into a fight this week?
I mean, Jonesy did.
We did not get into a fight. You got into you threw a hissy fit because we couldn't meet. Rita's like, oh, we can't meet. Then why? I don't know what we're doing here. I'm like, Rita, like, yo, I have a real job and I have like real kids and a real family.
No, he said, no, this is not what he said. I know. That's what he said. Rita, stop being so sensitive. And I was like, what?
I almost set off like nobody gets to text anymore. We all have to do voice messages now because there was so much stuff that was getting thrown around in there. I was like, bro, I think there's some.
Was this voice? Was this exchange?
No, this
voice
was all
or
text.
text?
This is all text.
Oh, this is all text.
So it's all like misinterpreting tone of voice and like all the intention was not there and everything. I was like, man, I like it a lot better when like Jonesy's like cutting up on his voice thing and he's like doing his.
You know why I couldn't? Because I was actually in a meeting. I know. I'm in a meeting, so I couldn't. And I'm like, yo, like stop being sensitive, bro. Like no, for real. Like for real. Like if we say that we all only have an allotted amount of time, it's no slight to you. It's not like we're saying what you have to say is not valid. We just don't have 2.5 hours to say it. We just need to get in and get out because I'm working, Dad's working, Aunt's fucking probably on a ladder or doing some crazy shit. Like that's the only thing I was saying. I wasn't trying to be like demonstrative or to argue with you. I don't even argue with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't argue with people. I love you, Rita.
I love you too, Jonesy. Right.
I love everybody.
Everybody, right. So the thing is that we were talking about something needing to be done, and I wrote, hey, I think we should meet. I'm available tomorrow or Monday. And so this, in my frame of mind, it would be I'm available or I'm not. That's it, right? Instead, what my first thing was, Chad's like, I got this thing with my wife. I'm going to do it in the car. I got a half hour to edit here. And then Jonesy's like, and I got this, and we got to make it worth our while. And we got to do that. And I'm like, you could have just said, I'm not available, or just saying, I got 15 minutes. That's all I can do. That's how I was looking at it. And then, so of course and that kind of tipped me off. I went, just forget it. I mean, I didn't want a 2.5 hour, I didn't want a 2.5 hour meeting, but I also didn't want to lecture. That's how it was coming to me, because that's what texts do. Right. So this is what, so I just like, so we don't have to do a meeting, forget it then.
It's
and
because
then,
you're a Sagittapricorn, Rita. That's why.
No, but I'm not justifying my sensitivity, but then because it's text, it wasn't like Jonesy, because if we were all talking like this, Jonesy would like, well, stop being so sensitive. Because I would just say it out loud to go, hey, I don't need everybody's life story. Can we meet or not? You know, it's like, it'll be 15 minutes. So, but because we're texting and I'm like, okay, just forget it. We don't need to meet. And then Jonesy, Rita, stop being so sensitive. Because and then what happens? Story? I know.
I'm the most succinct out of, besides Ant, because Ant doesn't say anything.
Right.
I'm way more succinct than you and Chad. I just say, XYZ.
Exactly.
See you later. That's so I don't do all of that.
Right. So then it gets to the point of now I'm not even reading what they're saying. And Jonesy's trying to explain, listen, I work in the late shift all week. And then I'm going, and then I'm just like, and then he's like, forget it. The energy's not good. I'm not going. And then of course, I'm being mature. I'm like, if Jonesy's not going, I'm not going. Forget it. And then all of a sudden, Ant and Chad are having a conversation like,
I almost texted Ant, like, man, I hope Jonesy and Rita talk to each other at some point, because like, fuck, man.
Listen, y'all understand something about me, yo. I don't argue. You know what I'm saying? No. We
both back out. We just
no, I don't back you. Yeah. Listen, because like for me, at the end of the day, like right now, we're at the end stages of this shit. We ain't making any money off of this. I'm not gonna allow this shit to enter my household. You know what I'm saying? So the way I am is that if you guys can meet without me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna do what I do regardless. I've been doing what I've been doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like, I don't like to argue. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that is offensive to me is like, if I'm trying to fit you in instead of me just blowing you up, I always try to fit everybody in. Mm-hmm. I could just be like, I ain't got no time for that shit. Click. You know what I'm saying? That's really who I am. And then that would be a problem. You know what I'm saying? But what you want is you want me to say exactly what you're saying in a more masculine voice.
Read the text to me that you sent that initiated this meeting.
Okay.
Verbatim.
See, now it's okay, exactly.
Because I think I know the problem here.
Me.
I trust me. Yeah, it's not going to go good for me. I can tell you that.
Just read the first text.
No, I will. I'm trying to find it. This thing went on for an hour.
Oh my God.
No. So wait, because I think.
Take your time.
I'm gonna do it if you don't do it.
Yo, chat. If y'all enjoying this, drop the popcorn emoji in the chat.
Here it comes. Okay, but let me just say the preface. It's like Kamar just dropped this.
No preface. Just give me the text.
Okay, from me, I think the four of us should meet to discuss where we're at and marketing promo strategy. I'm available Monday afternoon after 7 Eastern time. That's what I wrote.
Okay. What you wanted was a yes or no response.
Right.
But you didn't prompt for a yes or no response. If I were to send that text, I would have said, yo, I want to have a meeting discussing marketing and promo. Are you available Monday between these times? That more is like a yes or no question. When you say, hey, this is the time I'm going to be available, that's very open-ended, so you're going to get open-ended responses from everybody.
Okay.
Right? Like, read that last part of the text. I'm available
Monday afternoon after 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Right. So that's not like a question, right? Who knows how people could respond to that?
I just put it out there that I think that we should get together because we hadn't gotten together in a while.
Yeah,
and
I'm just telling you why you got the responses you got.
Okay.
Right? That's the reason why you got the responses you got. If you wanted a yes or no, phrase it as that, right? Do you have time between these hours? you know, like
Yes.
7 to 8, and then they can say yes or no. But the way you worded it, it was just, you know, it was just too open ended. Like I can see why they responded like that, because it's the way you said it was very open ended. Hey, these are the times I'm available. Right?
Okay.
And then,
All right.
so then they're like,
mean,
well, here's
I
what I'm
yeah.
doing at. So then they responded, well, here's what I'm doing at those times. You know what I'm saying? So if you were looking for a yes or no response, you would have to word it like that.
Okay, to say, okay. I mean, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. I don't agree with it only based on I've been having these conversations with these guys before. I'm not saying I agree with my behavior, but I do agree it's an open-ended question.
Yeah.
But it wasn't me saying we have to do it. I knew that all of a sudden our Mondays opened up.
Yeah.
And because of what would happen before that, there was some last minute, because it started with Ant saying, do we have anything in the hopper for this week?
Yeah.
Chad going, we've got 2 possibly. And then Chad goes and dings everybody and says, by the way. So I'm thinking, and then talking to Jonesy about our marketing strategy, saying, where are we at? Because we haven't met as a group, except for this show in like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my thing. And I was at my contribution to the conversation was, I think we should get together. Are you guys available? And I didn't do it. But then what it opened up was they've already filled up their Mondays. And that's really what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess my response is these very long responses of I can do it, but.
Yeah.
And so that their responses wasn't yes or no, or, you know, but I wasn't asking, do you have a half hour? Do you have 15 minutes? Do you need to pull over on the side of the car on the road and take a call this way?
On, Jonesy.
So I didn't know Jonesy was working till 9.
No, I mean,
I didn't ask for all that. Yeah. I didn't ask for all that information.
You didn't do anything wrong, right? Like, let's just make that clear. You didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
What I'm just saying is, especially like in text, right? And I always tell people this in relationships or whatever, especially business, like you've got to like over communicate whatever's happening. Like me and Ant had that back and forth last week where I didn't understand what his homeboy needs. And it's just like, you have to over communicate what's happening here so the person on the other end understands where you're coming from and they can give you the responses that you desire, right? So whenever I speak to somebody through text, I'm like, I overthink it and I over communicate it to make sure I get the responses I want so that I'm always in control of the type of responses I get. So think about that, right? And just say, do I want a yes or no response to this? And then ask that. Like, technically, you didn't do anything wrong. Like, it's just the flow of the conversation. I'm just telling you how to strangle their time easier. How to wrangle their time easier. Especially when you're dealing with men, you got to be like super direct and say, hey, do you have time between this and this? Because when you say I'm available at this time, they're thinking, in our minds, we're thinking, oh, she's flexible. That to me reads flexible, as opposed to saying, do you have time between 8 and 9 means yes or no, right? So it's just the over communication type thing. What was you gonna say, Jonesy?
But see, my thing is that she asked, and for me, I can't speak for anyone else, but I said, sure, it needs to be 30 minutes max. I'm too swamped. Now, for me to get what I got after that, kind of like, I'm like, yo, come on, bro. Like, anytime
what came after that?
No, I'm just saying, then, you know. Then Rita was kind of got upset, right? Forget the meeting then. Now, see, for me, that makes me mad because I've been available for everything.
Yeah.
Anytime we meet, anytime there's a show, no matter what I'm doing, I always make myself available, whether it's 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. So the one time I say that I'm swamped and I'm trying to fit it in because I'm going to probably be at work when she wants to meet. So I'm like, I needed to be half an hour so I can take my lunch and talk to you guys on my lunch.
Yeah.
That's not looked at as like, oh, well, he's being dedicated. That's like, well, let's not meet then. And it's like, I don't think that that's fair because it's not fair. It's not fair to us because, like, yo, not for nothing, Chad and I have a lot going on.
Rita, was that his exact response to you? was I got 30 minutes.
I got it right here.
No, I got it too. Yeah, no.
What does it say?
Yeah.
Sure, it needs to be 30 minutes max. 2, I'm swamped.
Yeah.
That was that.
And then read it.
It was just.
That's why I wanted it to be voiced.
Just the tone. It was just the tone.
Like
it was just people reading the text message in a different tone of voice.
Right. Yeah.
Because
so then read it. How'd you respond to that?
Basically,
because the thing is that, but it starts with, and I, if we're just going to put it on the table, because this wasn't really directed at, but it hit with Jonesy. He was upset, but this started Saturday. Me and Jonesy were the only one at the Mogul Summit, and you had asked me 3 different questions that I couldn't answer. One, you brought up Anthony. You asked what our email to our subscribers was happening.
And
I remember. Chad there.
Yeah.
And then you asked something else.
Yeah.
And then that made me think, okay, then as the project manager, I don't know these key things that are happening.
Right.
I couldn't give you answers. Right. And everyone's life is busy.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there during the Mogul Summit, not being able to answer 3 key things about the blog.
Yeah.
So that on a personal thing, I'm going, I got to meet with these guys.
Yeah.
I know everybody's really busy.
Yeah.
And so I just went, okay, I'm going to keep this because we're all busy. We've got to figure this out, a timing thing. We've got to meet. Then, but because I am having a hard time project managing from texts. So when something happens like Sunday night, like what are we doing with this? And what's the KPI? I'm just making that part up. But and then going, we only have 2 articles for the week. The goal is every single day. I got to talk to Chad about the subscriber. Everybody's busy. And I could have been more direct, like, you guys, it's really important to meet and give me 15 minutes because we have some questions that might come up on Tuesday night. And these are key things. But again, I'm not going to, I'm kind of having a bit of a back off being the stenographer when the rest of the team can't be at the Mogul Summit to answer questions.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I'm feeling. It's like, I got stuff that I'm doing as well.
Yeah.
So to say, we have these, so as a project manager to say, I should know what our subscriber is. I should have the answers to whether the blog is hitting the convert kit, because I'm personally the one who has to enter in the new people. I should know, do we have a nice time system for how the Twitter's going? Do we have a nice thing? So there's a lot of things that I would like to know, and then not just find out on when we meet for this, because that's really, this is when we meet. So I'm just giving you guys a little bit of background to say there's a little frustration. And then what tripped it was Ant saying, hey, do we have anything happening for the blog? Because we know we want one going out. And then within 5 minutes, Chad is dinging all the writers to say, does anybody have anything? Again, I totally I grant all of us that we're so busy because I'm behind in getting my podcasts out. I'm behind in getting things, just with schedule changing. So then it's like, okay, I could have been more clear to say, we need to meet. There's a lot of things that we need to all be on the same page with to answer questions. And so leaving it open-ended. So when I just said, are you guys available to meet? Chad starts it off, which was, okay, I can probably do that, but it needs to be low key and something I can do from the car. Since we aren't doing the show on Mondays now, I've committed to my wife and kids and driving to their practices. So I'm like, okay, my first thing was, I'm like, okay, I don't want to keep anybody from their family, but it doesn't change the fact. And then Jonesy comes in, sure, it needs to be 30-minute max. I'm swamped. Then we're talking about Kamar's scheduled for tomorrow and Adam's scheduled. I've got mine finished too. Yep. They start going back to their other conversations. And then she's got a list of things to do to make the podcast grow. We all have things we need to do for Jianchor. And so after that, I'm like, okay, look. And then I just went, let's just forget the meeting then. Because I know that we got doing it from the car. Jonesy's working. So I guess I should have said it, because that's what pissed everybody off, was let's forget the meeting then. It could have been like, well, let's forget the meeting then. You guys are busy.
But we got all of this stuff, right? We text all the time. We have Slack. We got Airtable. We got Compute. We have all of this stuff, and we're not using it. Like, there's no reason for any of us to go into anything blind. Like, if we have if we're looking at Airtable and we're assigning tasks, all we got to do is, once it's completed, or whether it's not, if it isn't, then we look on their table and then we could say, hey, Brian, this got done, that's getting done, that getting done. Or before we go to Mobile Summit, we could text each other. But we have to be considerate to the fact that, yo, we're trying to start a startup, right? And it's very, very important. It's paramount in our life. But the most paramount thing in our lives is our wives and our children and keeping a roof over our heads. That's the most important thing, right? So, you know, a lot of times I never talk about all of the shit that I do, and I'm not going to do that now. You know what I mean? But everybody knows I'm just as busy as Chad is. I never bring it up though, because I know how to manage shit. But for Chad, I don't want it to be where, you know, we're bagging on him. And this is a guy that's sitting there fucking for 5 or 6 hours reading through people's articles and editing them. And go like what Chad has to do is a lot more labor intensive than anything that I got to do. So like for me, I'm like, all right, what am I not doing? I'm not mad at him. I'm thinking, how can I take something off this guy's plate? You know what I mean? Or Anthony, you know, I'm not the tech guy, but how can I communicate this shit? How can I be a bridge some kind of way? Because like all I'm doing is I'm creating and I'm writing. It's harder to do what they're doing. And that's all I just wanted you to realize. Like if he's if he's going to fit it in, I give him a lot of credit for doing that, because he sat there and edited my DMX article. Y'all check that out. Not to be a shameless self-promoter, but I am. Listen, it probably took Chad an hour and a half because I'm a hack.
Longer than that.
Because I'm a hack, right? So he had to go in and he had to.
Jonesy like voice texted this whole thing, and like, or not the whole thing, but a big chunk of it. And anyway, there was some stuff where I was trying to figure out what you're trying to say, because I was like, I think he means this, but no, yeah. It was straight. Like it's we got to do what we got to do, and it was that one needed to get out when it needed to get out because the time window was shrinking. And
so for me, I'm making sure that I'm when I send him something, I'm going to send him a completed, edited piece of material, so he doesn't have to do that shit. And Rita, I'm not bagging on you at all. I'm just saying that, yo, instead of us being sensitive and getting upset, let's communicate effectively and let's really organize this shit, because we got all of this stuff and we're not using it.
To explain what I was trying to get across with, and maybe I wasn't clear enough with what I said in that little paragraph that I texted you. What I was trying to say is, like, I don't know what you have planned, but I'm not going to be able to like have my computer and like do this sort of thing like we're doing here, where I can share a screen and do all that stuff. That's all I was saying. Is like, this is going to have to be something where it's just on the phone and I can sit there and write on a tablet or whatever, but I'm not going to be, that's what I meant by low key. Is just like, it's going to be me in the car listening and talking and writing stuff down, but not necessarily having the ability to screen share the, you know, I don't know exactly what you meant.
Let's handle business. Rita, what did you want to talk about during that meeting?
I don't want to do this now. I think because I'm about done with tonight, right? Just because I got to get going. Okay. But I think we should handle it offline, because I think that I don't share my life very much with what I do. But I will say that just because I don't say I have this block of time and that block of time, I may seem freer than everybody else, but I have a life as well. And so I just want to talk about it offline, because I'm not, I mean, I care deeply for everyone here. Yeah. And it looks, so I think there's just really, the reality is two sides of it going, me saying, I'm available, and then let's just forget it. It could have, the interpretation on text can be two different ways, but I strongly agree there, just from where I'm sitting and where I know how to manage, is that the four of us need to at least communicate.
Absolutely.
And I just put it out there. Managing by text is not in my wheelhouse. So everything that I need to know and keep track of, and maybe I don't need to know, and maybe I just say I'll defer it to the other person, and then that'll be fine. So that's kind of where, yeah.
Since we're gonna wind down, I'm gonna wind down with this note. Mm-hmm. One thing about me in business is I never take none of this shit too serious. I never treat any of my businesses like it's life or death, or like this shit has to get done. Like, there's literally nothing that makes me be like, oh, like I don't allow business to ever like bother me, right? Like sometimes y'all see in a mogul summit, somebody ask me a question about, she do something. I'm like, sure, fucking go for it. Somebody be like, I didn't get to it. I'm like, all right, whatever the fuck, right? But for the most part, like, I don't take this shit serious. The only time like I take something serious like with any of my businesses was like, some shit that happened with my AI company and me and my founding team. And, we had a couple of discrepancies, but, we able to shrug that stuff off. But it was never it was over $500,000. That's a real reason to be upset with your business partner. You know what I'm saying? $500,000. Like if it ain't no money on the table, I wouldn't take this shit too serious, like if you guys couldn't meet or something like that, or if you're worried about a couple of blogs that didn't get up, I wouldn't let that shit bother you. I promise you, I would not let that shit bother you. Also, these shows are for meeting. It's to handle some of those things, right? So if the team can't meet on a Monday, we can handle that during the show. I don't see that doesn't have to be a private conversation, but I'm sure there may be some aspects to that you want to be private, and that's totally understandable. But I wanted to use this time definitely, especially if it has to do with marketing and promo, because that's my wheelhouse. But yeah, don't take this shit serious, y'all. This shit is too easy to take serious. This shit is nothing but fucking putting one foot in front of the other. You don't have to overthink this. This ain't a fucking tech company. We don't got a VC. We don't got a board. Just relax. You don't got to take this shit that serious.
Yeah, we chilling, man. I'm chilling.
Yeah, this should have built itself. This should have built itself. Trust me.
So I'm guessing we're not gonna figure out what's the right follower count ratio.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess we're gonna have to get to that next week. We'll come back next week and tell you the right follower to following ratio on Twitter. So make sure y'all tune in next week for another episode of the Jianchor Project. Y'all be safe and Hotep.
Peace.
Y'all tune in next week for another episode of the Jianchor Project. Y'all be safe and Hotep.
Peace.